Baltimore Ravens. Their offense is just I don't know. I've been a big Ravens fan all my life, and their offense has always been it's been a little iffy from time to time. We've had some good teams, we have some great teams, some nice offenses, but sometimes they've been shaky. Like if I had to describe this year's offense, it would be a teenager. They're trying to figure out their identity, figure out what they want to do, what they want to be. They're still trying to figure out their identity, who they are. And speaking of identities, we're going to talk about Greg Roman's comment. So, cue the intro.
Better think twice, my shooter in the video. 10th grade, bought a frame, mule off of licks. Pack set, feel like I'm cruising on the ship. It's your birthday, put some ice on your wrist. I reached every goal, had to write on the list. I'm stroking on toe, I just biting on the lip. I fly across the globe and I call another hit. They watching cause they know how slimy it can get. I'm running to the top, I'm bottom of the ditch. He can't rap burn and he running out of hits. Say the wrong word, I'm shooting me. You some big dog, you a poodle, I'm a pit. I'm trying to dog just as far as I can spit.
YouTube. Welcome back to another episode of KLA Sports. I'm your host Kyle Alexander, aka Kyle the OG15, because if you follow me on Instagram, that's my social. But I'm gonna put the socials in the description. But yeah, we're just gonna hop right straight into it. So this episode we're discussing Ravens offensive coordinator Greg Roman's comments about the Ravens offense going forward, what to expect, what I would like to see happen, and then what my prediction for the rest of the season. So without further ado, Ravens offensive coordinator Greg Roman claims that the offense will quote unquote forge a new identity going forward after the loss of tight end Nick Boyle. Now with that loss, Ravens only have one tight end on the active roster, and that is Mark Andrews. You never want to have one player at one's position on the active roster. It's not great. So Ravens signed Luke Wilson to the practice squad, and I believe he did get called up for this game for the Titans, which makes sense. I don't know why you signed to the squad and not promote him. But yeah, so we're going to see Luke Wilson in action, who's a good tight end. We saw he's not terrible, but he's not amazing. But he's good. He's serviceable. We saw what he's able to do in Seattle. He's a dependable target. Now, with Nick Boyle gone, he's the best blocking tight end in the game, and it hurts our run game. So, run game is going to be hindered a little bit. So, we're not going to be able to run the ball the same way. I believe the blocking is not going to be the same. And we've already lost some players blocking with Ronnie Stanley. I believe the rookie Tyree Phillips is out. He's been out for the past couple games. So, yeah, run game is just not going to be the same. Ravens, like I said, still finding their identity on offense, trying to figure out who they are. And Lamar has improved this year. He still has some room to go, but he's improved. Like my biggest thing on Lamar last year, and I saw, or mainly in the Titans game, was when he would panic when he was under pressure. Whenever it was a defender near him, he would just tuck the ball and try and run it. And in the regular season that worked, it was like, oh, look at that run. He was able to pick up some yards. But Titans got a hold of that, said, all right, we know what we're going to do. Stack the box, get pressure on him, and have that containment. Like, just have the spy up so that if he tries to run, they say you can run east to west all game for all I care. As long as you don't go downfield. And that was my biggest issue that I noticed of him, but he has improved that. Like I think the first time I saw this was in the Washington game. Now, I remember he threw a deep ball to Marquise Brown. It was an overthrow. It was an incompletion, but still he took the time. It was a defender closing in on him, and he didn't say, "Oh, I'm just tucking and run," which probably would have been better at the time. But I like that he looked for the pass. He saw he had it, just overthrew him a little bit, but still that showed growth. Now we get to the Patriots game. That game was not on him. Okay, that was one of Lamar's best games. He went 24-34, 249 yards passing, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. The only mistake he really had was that forced deep ball to Marquise, and it was another play I can't remember, but he's been playing well. Only difference with the other QBs that he's getting compared to is the weapons. Buffalo, Arizona, both of them had young QBs. Said, all right, both the QBs played good last year, but we need to get them to be great. How can we do that? Oh, Cliff Kingsbury, whoever the GM for Arizona is, said, you know what? Let me just call up Bill O'Brien. Hey, Bill, you want to give us Hopkins? Said, I heard, contract talks have been great, so, we figured we could scoop him off your hands. You don't got to face him. You only face him once every 4 years. So, and they said, all right, deal. Bam. We got DeAndre Hopkins, arguably the best receiver in the league. Now look at what they're doing. Just saw the Hail Murray and triple coverage. Look at Buffalo. They said, all right, Josh Allen, congratulations. You got us to the playoffs. You're our QB for the future. Only things, we're just missing that one piece. Number one receiver. We know that, but going into last season, it was, we got you some receivers in John Brown, Cole Beasley. And not a lot of people expected too much, but they made the playoffs. It said, all right, John Brown had a great year last year. Only thing is he really a number one receiver? Hey, Minnesota. We know Stephon Diggs wants out of Minnesota. Send them here. You don't gotta face. You only face them once every 4 years, and we'll gladly give you a first round pick. Okay, bam. Stephon Diggs, and we saw it doing it before the Hail Murray. They had the game winning touchdown. Just had some time on the clock, and you got DeAndre Hopkins. But yeah, Mahomes, Tyreek. He won on the team with Tyreek Hill, and Travis Kelce, Sammy Watkins. They drafted McCole Hardman, even with DeMarcus Robinson, because he's been a threat to us. He's been a threat to other teams. Because the thing with him and Mahomes were on that second unit, like that scout team in Mahomes' rookie year. So Mahomes, he had chemistry with him. He developed chemistry with him. You look at Houston when they had Hopkins and Will Fuller, and so had Will Fuller. They said, all right, Watson, you're our QB of the future. Here are your weapons. Ravens just don't have that number one guy. There's no real threat at receiver. All the teams do, triple team, double team, triple team tight end, containment to try and stop the run. Yeah, all right, who you going to throw it to? There's just no threat. So, next up, I'm just going to talk about what to expect from this offense with the new identity. We expect Dez Bryant and Luke Wilson to get promoted to the roster. I actually wrote this up Saturday or Friday actually, but I'm doing it Saturday. And today, Dez Bryant, Luke Wilson on the active roster. This is Dez Bryant's second time, so he's most likely going to get signed to the active roster, because it's either you sign the player to the active roster, or to put him after you call him up 2 times. After the second time, it's either we promote you to it's either A, hey, we're going to promote you to the active roster, or B, we're going to cut you, or we're going to waive you, clear waivers, might get screwed from other teams, but if not, we'll sign you to the practice squad again. Ravens, why would they put themselves through that when they just sign them to the active roster? When there's 2 roster spots open, it couldn't hurt. So I'm excited to see Dez Sunday. I think, expectations are low, especially after the last game, but I honestly think if Dez could get going, and if he get going, just start him off with some short routes, and then as the game goes on, if he finds his groove, make it deeper, intermediate routes. But definitely use him in the red zone. Baltimore, if you're on the red zone and you're looking to pass, use Dez Bryant. At least design some plays up for him. Next, I expect the Ravens to go to the passing game more. Like I said, you lost the best blocking tight end in the league, and the other tight end you have is a vertical threat, or like that receiving threat. I mean, yeah, I still expect the run game to be used, but I expect they're going to go to a more not pass heavy, but they're going to start using more passing plays. They're going to let Lamar cook this time. I'm going to open up there and say, Lamar, we're just going to give you time we're just going to open the passing playbook up to you. We're going to let you pass. Just figure out something. Or not figure out, but work with this. I expect some spread sets. Like I said, you got 2 good tight ends who can catch the ball. You got you got some good receivers. The Ravens receivers aren't terrible. There's just no number one threat. There's no Willie Snead might be our number one, or Marky. Yeah, Willie Snead might be our number one guy, but we don't have that Devontae Adams or that Julio Jones. But with the tight end, I honestly expect some spread sets. They've been doing this sometimes this year, but um, Ravens, I wouldn't be surprised if you see them running some gun empty sets on Sunday against the Titans. Still utilize the run game. That's another thing. You got to run the ball. That's Ravens offense. Don't abandon it. Don't shy away from it. Just use the run game still. Try and figure it out. Try and still use the run game in some way. That's what I think we should expect. That's what to expect. Now that's what I think is going to happen. Now what I think needs to happen, creativity. Think outside the box. You got some fast guys. Get everybody involved. Or figure out how to get the receivers involved. Don't just send them out on curls and slants and ins and outs. Have them do some stop and goes, corner routes, stuff like that. Get more creative. And speaking of creativity, get Devin Duvernay involved more. Listen, I saw this comment on a Ravens post. I saw this comment on YouTube, and I've agreed with this ever since 100%. Use Devin Duvernay the way the 49ers use Deebo Samuel. Or like the Curtis Samuel gets used in Carolina. Hand up. I saw this when the Panthers played Thursday night against the Falcons. They had Curtis Samuel taking direct snaps at running back. Why not try that with Devin Duvernay? Get the ball in his hand. Try handoffs at running back. Reverses, jet sweeps. You got Marquise Brown and Devin Duvernay. Why not try reverse? You got jet sweeps. Or what the Steelers do. They've been doing jet sweeps with Claypool, and they fake teams out with that by having them come in motion. Be like, oh, hand off to the running back. Get creative. Think outside the box and get Duvernay the ball more. Yeah, it may not. And try some misdirection, stuff like that. Or you can do a halfback screen with Duvernay at running back. And I know people, my thing is, isn't different from having Tyreek Hill back there. Because if you have Tyreek Hill back there, it's automatically, oh, this guy's a threat. We got to focus on him. You got Devin Duvernay back there. It's like, oh, it's probably a trick play or something. But at the same time, are we really worried? Because they don't know what he can do. We've seen him get in open space. Just get Devin Duvernay involved. He's the gadget player. I'm going to stick with the receivers here. Switch Marquise Brown to the slot. Shake up his routes. Don't just have him do goes because that's not going to work all the time. If the receiver's playing off, if the corner's playing off and they're expecting a deep threat, comeback route. You just have him sell the go. You be like, stop, cut back, boom, comeback route. It's simple. Have him do stop and goes. He's quick. He's fast. That could work, especially if he's in the slot and he on the linebacker. Seam routes. If he's in the slot and he's on the linebacker, seam route. He's got that. Like, just try different stuff. Use more use more routes. Don't just give him, oh, you're either going to do a go or a curl. Like, stuff like, get him on jet sweeps. Get him on bubble screens. Him and Duvernay. Just move Marquise Brown around. Yes, he's not a bust, but he's not a number one receiver. And it's like, okay, we know you're not a number one receiver. Let's try switching you to slot. Don't force him to be the number one receiver if he's clearly not the number one receiver. Just mix it up a bit. Shake up the wide receiver core. Dez is on the team, or he's got called up for this game. Dez and Snead on the outside, Brown and Duvernay on the inside, and Duvernay is your gadget player. I'm telling you, Marquise Brown needs to go to the slot. Snead can play outside, but maybe try switching Brown to slot. I'm telling you, it could really help him out. He could help this offense out. Same with Duvernay. It could help him out. You use him as a gadget player on them sweeps and reverses. Like, just get Duvernay's is your gadget guy. Brown needs to be the slot. Honestly, I wouldn't mind if we had Duvernay at running back and did a halfback screen with him, or like a halfback pass, like hand off to him and have him do like a halfback pass. Just got to get creative. No, we have speedsters on that team. You got to utilize everybody. Listen, yeah, you could complain about, oh, Ravens don't have no receivers, or just make for now. I mean, yes, I would still like the Ravens to get receiver help in the offseason, but at the same time, offseason isn't here until next year. So for now, we just have to make do with what we have. Get the guys involved. Use them to their advantage. We saw this with hmm, we saw this with New England. Julian Edelman. Um, he wasn't the fastest guy. He wasn't the strongest guy, but Bill Belichick just said, "Listen, you're gonna start off as a punt returner, and then we'll work you in. So you're not fast, but you're quick. Put him in the slot and let him get open over the middle. Bam. Look at him now. Second all time in postseason receiving yards. Look at DK Metcalf. Everybody passed up on him in the draft because it's like, all he can do is run go routes. Seattle said, okay, fine. You let him slide to us. We will gladly take DK Metcalf. We utilize the deep ball anyway. So that'll help Russell Wilson out now, while at the same time he can develop his route running. Now look at him. He's looking like a top 10 receiver this year. Michael Thomas, people are like, oh, he only runs slants. They can't stop it. New Orleans literally just said, all right, utilize it to your advantage. You're just going to run the shorter routes. I mean, because he's a yards after catch guy. You have to utilize what you have. Make do with what you have. Also, another thing, I think Ravens should do some 2 receiver, 2 tight end sets like New England did back in the day with Hernandez and Gronk. It can work. We got 2 good receiving tight ends, or you have a nice receiving tight end, Andrews, and a good receiving tight end in Wilson. Then you got Dez and Sneal also, or maybe Dez and Brown. Switch it up. But I would run 2 receiver, 2 tight end sets. And you can set up the pass, or you can run. You can do like run, play action, because they're expecting run with 2 tight ends. It's like, oh, now you got 2 guys out here. Like, I think the Ravens should at least try that. Experiment with that a little bit. Last thing, use the running back situationally and give it to the hot hand. How many times as a Ravens fan have you seen Mark Ingram gets a rush, J.K. Dobbins for a play or 2, Gus Edwards for a play, Mark Ingram for 3 plays, back to Gus? Like, it's not consistent. Use your running back situationally. Mark Ingram, he's the starter, so use him on like the first downs and stuff. J.K. Dobbins, he's the third down / third scat back for now, because he's the quickest he can catch. Use J.K. Dobbins in the passing game. Use him on third downs. Gus Edwards, use him. He's the short yardage guy in goal line. Use him for short yardage. Like, if it's a 31, use him. And then on first and goal, that's where Gus comes in. And whoever's hot, feed them. We know what Gus and JK can do. Gus is my boy. Gus stands over here. But feed the hot hand. If Gus gets hot, if Gus got two back-to-back carries of 5 yards, that's the first down. Keep giving it to him. Just feed the high hand. Alright, now I'm going to go into the last segment, which is the rest of the season and my prediction. So, I got the Ravens schedule right here. So, I know we played the Titans Sunday. Oof, I don't know about that. We played the Titans Sunday. Played at Pittsburgh on Thursday. Then we played Dallas home on Thursday. Played at Cleveland on Monday night. Then we played Jacksonville home, Giants home, and then we play at Cincinnati. So I think the floor for them would be 11-5, and they lose to the Titans and the Steelers. Actually, I think 10-6 is the floor, because I would say they would lose to the Titans and the Steelers, maybe Cleveland. Last 2 years they have been splitting with Cleveland, but I think they can sweep Cleveland. So I'm gonna say 10-6, 11-5 is their floor. Ceiling would be 13-3, and that's they beat Tennessee and they beat Pittsburgh. Yes, they can beat Pittsburgh. It's a divisional game. Anything can happen in a divisional game. Not to mention they were up 17-7 on Pittsburgh in the first game. Just couldn't close it out. But now they know what they're about. They know it's not last year's Pittsburgh. Like we seen and like I said, divisional games, anything can happen. We saw the Raiders beat the Chiefs. Everybody was expecting Chiefs to be undefeated by this point. Who beat them? They like 8-1. Who did they lose? Oh yeah, the Raiders. They're a divisional rival, and they played this Monday night. I'm pretty sure, or Sunday night. I honestly believe Ravens have a shot at beating the Steelers and giving them their first L of the year. Now my prediction, I'm gonna go with the floor. I'm gonna say 11-5, because I just don't see us beating Tennessee, especially with Calais Campbell, Brandon Williams out. I don't see us beating Tennessee. Don't see us beating Pittsburgh, and I have us getting this like 6th, 7th seed because Miami's been playing well. So have the Raiders. So I had the Raiders finishing 11-5, 7th seed. Now I'm hoping they're playing underdog and just playoff time gonna be like, oh yeah, this isn't our full potential. We thought that last year and we saw how that turned out, but this year maybe it's different. I feel Baltimore definitely performs better as the underdog, because both years the Ravens have won as a wild card. They ran the gauntlet in the playoffs, played the wild card game. So maybe the Ravens can make a deep playoff run. I don't know, but honestly, I think the Ravens are just a year. This one, I think they're a year or two away from Super Bowl contention. The biggest needs is interior lineman and that number one receiver. But like I said, get the offense going, get creative, think outside the box. And if they don't forge this new identity and they ain't looking too good, I got a feeling Greg Roman's out this year. That will be it for the video. Let me guys know in the comment section below what you think the Ravens will do and what they should. Also, if you're a Ravens fan, what receiver do you want the Ravens to get? Realistically, obviously. And what do you want them to do in the draft? Just let me know your thoughts below. Also, I started a Discord where you guys can talk to me all things NFL. We can talk about anything NFL, and I'll start a basketball one too. We can talk. It's not just about my team or your team. It's about the whole league. So yeah, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. We got KLA Sports merch, and I'll put the Instagram below. But yeah, like, comment, subscribe, and I'll talk to you guys next time.